This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judgy blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of A's Cast Live. We got a fantastic show for you today. Lawrence Butler, the Law Dog. Now, if you're listening on 650 KSTE, if you're listening down in Vegas on KWNR-FM, The Bull HD2, or anywhere else on the A's radio network, and, of course, on A's Cast, the audio portion, you can't see the Lawrence Butler bobblehead that we have in front of you that the Athletics are giving out tomorrow on Lawrence Butler's birthday.
And it's signed. I'm just pointing it out. I mean, we're going to give it away.
Your takes. What do you mean we're not giving this away?
Well, not that one. Well, I guess we could technically give it away.
So, yeah, it is signed on his helmet, but you can't see it.
Yeah,
but you can see this is what I'm trying to show here on YouTube and on X. Lawrence Butler, the bobblehead, is absolutely sweet. Lawrence Butler is going to stop by and join us a little bit later today. CJ Nitkowski, our old buddy who, you listen to on Sirius XM, the baseball channel 89, Loud Outs, but for years was with the Texas Rangers doing their color. He's now switched to the Atlanta Braves, so we don't get to see CJ anymore. It's going to be good to see him.
For sure, yeah. It's been a couple of years since we've seen him in person because we played in Atlanta last year.
All right, so CJ's going to be here at 5:15, and then the general manager, David Forst, will be here at 5:30.
So he told me, yeah, fresh out of the war room, draft's on Sunday.
Draft is on Sunday, and the A's are picking 11th.
All I've seen on the mock drafts was a college outfielder.
And then they're picking 48th in the second round.
Oh, our second-round picks last year were Gage Jump and Tommy Tanks, and they're both going in the futures game.
So we're going to press his feet to the fire. We're not going to allow him to leave here and tell us who the A's are drafting with the 11th pick overall in the 2025. We used to call it the June amateur draft. Yeah. Now it's the July amateur draft. It's for baseball. I get it. It's not great for baseball ops because you want to draft guys in June, sign them as soon as possible, and then send them out and get them to play. Minor leagues, especially the lower levels, end earlier, so you have less time now when you draft a guy in mid-July. By the time you get your top pick signed, most of the season's gone. So it's something that they don't love from a baseball ops standpoint, but baseball is trying to somehow get you, the consumer, more interested in the draft. I don't see how that's going to be possible. They can have these combines. I know I'm not going to be sitting around going, I cannot wait to see who the Mariners select third or the Rockies select fourth. And the problem is it's just you're never going to have what the NBA and what the NFL, what they do is you draft guys, they immediately help you this next season. Baseball, you draft guys. We're now seeing it happen faster, but still, guys going to the minor leagues, so you're like, yeah, I'll wait till he gets to the big league club. All right, the thing that I thought that was super interesting today, I love the ABS challenge system. I first saw it in spring training this year when I was calling a game with Johnny Dasco. We were over in Surprise. We were either playing the Rangers or the Royals. That's where they train. And it was the first time we were going to see it. And I was super excited because I'd never seen it before. That's where somebody challenges, right? Either the catcher taps his helmet, the pitcher, I don't remember what the pitcher does, but the hitter can tap his helmet. Head, yeah. So somebody's going to challenge. I can't remember what the pitcher does. Does the pitcher do his
I don't remember.
Too?
I just only remember seeing the hitters do it. Maybe pitchers do the same thing.
So the catchers can do it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Either way, First time we saw it, it happened like second inning, and I'm calling color. Johnny's doing the play-by-play. And I went, here it is. And all of a sudden, in like 6 seconds, you look out there on the they're not really jumbotrons at these spring, but the video board, and here comes the pitch. Boom, strike. And the crowd went nuts.
Pitchers do tap their helmet hat too.
Crowd went absolutely nuts. And I sat there and went, this is a winner. Because look at the consumer. Look at the fan. We're in the entertainment business, and they loved it. And I started thinking of all the different possibilities that we could have with this ABS system. We could get it sponsored. There's people who are going to be able to gamble on it. Once everybody can be gambling from their phones, like especially once we're in Vegas, we'll be able to. It's a winner. I'm like, we need this and we need this now. This is awesome. And however you want to do it, you get 3 a game, 6 a game, however they want to structure it. We know it's coming to Major League Baseball, but then it was just announced we're going to get the challenge system in the MLB All-Star Game in Atlanta this year. And that made me think, you know what? Once again, baseball doing something that's smart. They don't do everything smart, but this is smart. You want to bring some juice to the All-Star Game? You want to make people interested in the All-Star Game? I know for a fact that just made me more interested in watching the game. Let's say you got somebody like Aaron Judge, a guy who has the craziest strike zone in baseball because he is the largest human being to have ever played in Major League Baseball. To watch Aaron Judge, who probably has had some of the craziest strikes called on him because of his size, finally step out and go, I'm not buying it. I think, or take someone like Jose Altuve, or take somebody small, like take these people with these, back in the day, Ricky Henderson with the crouch who shrunk his strike zone, be able to go, nope, I'm not buying it. Or how about a pitcher being able to go, nope, I thought that was a strike. I'm looking forward to this. I think, to me, this is something that just brought a little interest. And MLB says they have this polling that they did during spring training that 72% of the fans had a positive experience when seeing ABS implemented in the games. I don't know how you could not. It literally took less than 10 seconds. How big of a negative Nancy do you have to be to say, nope, I didn't like that. I didn't. It hurt my experience at a spring training game.
As soon as I saw this come out this morning, I immediately sent it to our group thread for the Ace Cast and NBC Sports California, and obviously for us. And I was like, "This is going to be awesome. I know that you're going to love to talk about it." I want to hear I want to hear Sax's take on it, because we know that he still wishes they were wearing leather helmets and there was no night games at Wrigley.
If he doesn't like it, we're kicking him off the show.
This is how I believe. Okay, I'm from the old school.
That's Sax. He's from the old school.
Well, that's actually Mike Singletary, but yes,
you know what I mean.
Yes, can't do it. Can't play with him. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and it really, what's brilliant about it is that even though the All-Star Game numbers have been down, but maybe they won't be, because, something that we follow streaming all the time, a lot of good is happening in baseball right now. The streaming numbers were through the roof. That means if you're watching on your iPad or your phone, you're watching MLB.com. The streaming numbers were through the actual roof during July 4th weekend. Attendance was up. So things are booming right now for baseball. So maybe, because basically you have had this summer to yourself. What else is going on? I know WNBA is now going on. Well, it has been going on for years, but what else is going on? There may be some golf.
Wimbledon. That's
tennis.
right now. There's some soccer because the World Cup's next year.
But remember, the All-Star Game's on a Tuesday, so golf won't be going on. It'll be a select early in the season WNBA, so that's not really competition. So, I mean, it's like baseball has had the Midsummer Classic to itself for all of these years. They've seen the ratings go down year after year after year. They've tried so many different. Maybe this will be something that brings people back and will educate people who are deathly afraid of technology. Maybe showcasing this in the All-Star Game will make people realize, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. This is awesome. Because it is.
Because then eventually, it conditions everyone to gear up for when we eventually move into the full ABS system with the robot umpires. because after we saw, was it Phil Cuzzy and all the complaints everyone's complaining about him in the Giants-Phillies game the other night, I think there are a lot of people, not Johnny D, but everyone else they're pushing hard for the robo-umps.
So I'll tell you this. It reminds me a lot of what's happening with the NFL putting games on Amazon, right? We've done it with our certain games that we've done with streaming services. But when the NFL did Thursday night on Amazon Prime, it forced everybody to watch games. People are getting used to it. You've got to showcase it before you go full bore with everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the NFL will work long term. NFL will remain on regular television for a long time. But the rest of us, NBA is going to be doing a ton of streaming. NHL, Major League Baseball, we're on the verge of going to that. That's why we created A's Cast. But the ABS system is a lot like that. Showcase this technology and how it works at a major event like the All-Star Game, in a game that's still an exhibition, and let people realize, oh, this is really cool. I really dig it.
Yeah, I think that the way that they were doing it, because the NFL had games on Netflix last year. Christmas Day games were on Netflix. So the NFL conditioned people with Amazon, and Netflix is the right way to do it. So
they did Amazon first, right?
We
did it.
They have Peacock games too.
We did Apple games.
YouTube and Facebook.
YouTube game, yeah. We might have overthought it a little bit, and it kind of turned some people off. But the way the NFL did, hey, we're just going to do a game.
Yeah.
And
they're still doing it that way too. There's going to be plenty of games on Peacock and YouTube, or not YouTube, Netflix and Amazon, just like how the NBA's big TV package now is with Amazon.
But I got to tell you, I like the idea that, well, CJ Nitkowski's going to, just saw CJ right up there.
Oh, there he is.
I'm interested in his take, because I ask people, what will we do to get people back into want to watch the All-Star Game? What's going to make you on a Tuesday? It's summertime, afternoon. A lot of people are out. If you're not working, what's going to get you back into the All-Star Game? And I've asked a bunch of our people who work here. We're all people who work in baseball, and you get a lot of different answers. So I don't know what the answer is to get people back into watching this game and get people fired up for it. But I think adding the technology that we all know is going to go forward is definitely going to help. I do like some ideas. I like the ideas of drafting players. There's certain things.
Yeah, doing a draft. Yeah,
playing for a little money and making it worth something. But we'll get into that just a little bit. And of course, the general manager is going to be joining us here, as CJ Nitkowski is now with the Atlanta Braves. Is going to join us. It's good to have him back. It was great when he was in the division. We still listen to him loud outs on Sirius XM channel 89. He does a great job with Ryan Spielborgs, but we miss having you on all the time. How are you?
Part of the reason I switched division, so I only had to see like once every other year.
So we get rid of these A's guys. I can't stand seeing these guys.
Good to see you, brother.
How are you? How's
good.
Everything?
Everything's good. No complaint. I mean, I could come up with some complaints for sure, but no real complaints.
How do you think of the new set? We've kind of stepped our game up a little bit.
Absolutely have stepped your game. It's nice to be able to walk over here, not have to walk through dirt.
Yeah.
On the track, you got like some real lights here, a beautiful desk. It's good to see the budget increase. That's good news. I mean, you guys have been crushing it.
Yeah. So we're now the NBC pre and post game show. Also, I do it with Steve Sachs when we're here in town. So things have dramatically changed since we last saw you.
So I ran into Saxy yesterday. I've actually never met him in person. We had done radio shows together before
at Sirius
XM,
yeah.
And plus, I grew up in New York. He was on the Yankees when I was in high school. So I mean, obviously, he was a great player. So it's really cool to run into him yesterday. Glad to see he's doing pre and post with you guys, but what a great guy. He's awesome.
So how is the change from the Rangers to the Atlanta Braves?
So it's been really good for me personally. I live in Atlanta. I've lived in Atlanta for 20 years. So it's been a blessing to be able to work where you actually live, which is really something I never did as a player over the 19 years of playing. So it's been great. Good organization, good people, just like the Rangers. Good organization, good people. I'm just home a lot more. So that's nice.
Yeah, that had to be tough, though, because the Rangers meant a lot to you. You had a lot of good years with the Texas Rangers.
Those first 6, they were like 120 games under 500, and then they went and won a World Series my last year there. So that was really cool to kind of track all that, go through the struggles, and then see the other side of it the way that we did. But, yeah, I definitely miss the people over there. It was really good people. But it was nice in a place where I got to kind of cut my teeth as a local broadcaster. I did some Fox stuff and national stuff prior, but that was my first shot to be able to do local, and I loved it.
So the Atlanta Braves, it's like, we thought the Atlanta Braves were going to be the team that battle in the East. Then they could battle maybe the Dodgers for the World Series.
Yeah.
There was all of that talk, and then all of a sudden got off to a bad start, got hot, and then just have never been able to really get it going. How shocked are you by the way this has gone for the Braves this year?
I think everybody is. I think everybody in Braves country has felt that way as well. You mentioned the start, 0-7 to start the season. You go to San Diego for 4, Los Angeles for 3 against the Dodgers. You don't win a single game on that road trip before you even get home from spring training. So you dig a really deep hole. They did get it turned around, started playing well. So, okay, this is how they're going to get out of it. And then they went into another low, and now they're into another one right now. Just some inconsistency offensively has been a big part of it. Pitching injuries, I know everybody has them and nobody wants to hear about it, but 4/5 of the rotation right now is out that you anticipated being in your opening day rotation. So there have been some struggles. There's no hiding from it. Right now, it's been a little bit surprising to see them not be able to get out of it, to see them this many games below 500. And just kind of keep chipping away. But it's shocking. I mean, there's no two ways about it that Braves fans, myself included, are pretty surprised at what's gone on.
What can you expect going forward? Because all of a sudden now the Marlins can't lose on the road.
Yeah.
You still got you're still going to have the Phillies. You're still going to have the Mets. I mean, what can you expect going forward? There still is quite a bit of baseball left.
There is, and so you're hoping that you're playing meaningful games. I mean, first things first, you just got to win. You got to find some consistency to make sure that the front office is still locked into maybe making some additions come deadline time. We'll see. Alex Anthopoulos had talked about it a couple of weeks ago that they were in the position where they felt like they were going to add. That was prior to Chris Sale getting hurt and then Spencer Schwellebach, 2 huge pieces into your rotation. So we'll see. But it's about, just kind of getting back on track, playing some good baseball. There's not a lot of competition as far as like what does next year look like. Most of these position players are locked in, right? That's something that Alex Anthopoulos had done when he put this team together over the last few years, was lock up a lot of the younger players. So it's not as if they're looking around going, well, who's going to be, our third baseman next year? Who's going to be our right fielder next year? You know the answer to those questions. So it really is more about trying to find a way to get a little bit closer here, win some more games, and make it interesting down the stretch.
The Profar deal, because we know Jurickson, that was just a shocker, right? At the beginning of the season, he's the one guy you go out and you spend money on the offseason, then wham, he's gone for 80 games.
That was brutal. There's no two ways about it. Same thing. You play those first 4 games in San Diego. He didn't make it to the Dodger series because it was right after those 4 games that happened. So that hurt, too, because you knew Ronald Acuna Jr. was going to be out probably the first 6 or so weeks of the season, and Profar was the guy they looked at and said, okay, we can put him near the top of that order. We can get some on base out of him. We got all kinds of flexibility. Left field was really the only open position on the team where there was some question marks. And like you said, you felt like he was the one guy you spend the money, he was going to answer it. That one hurt too. There's no two ways about it. Now he's done well as soon as he got back, home run in each of his first 2 games, getting comfortable again. It's important for him to play well. I think for Braves fans, they know how much that hurt. Not having him for those 80 games when he was out with the PED suspension. But this is a kid that, I say a kid, he's not a kid anymore, but Curacao guy. The Braves have had this connection with Curacao. We think about Andrew Jones and Ozzie Albies and Anderson Simmons and others over the years. It's kind of been, they joke around and call Curacao kind of Braves country. And he grew up listening to
in hot Atlanta.
Yeah, he had been, he'd watched the Braves growing up. It was a big deal. He said, if I'm not going back to San Diego, I really want to go to Atlanta. Yeah. And so that part of his dream came true, but now he's got to make up for what happened over those 80.
Speaking of Andrew Jones, we have a fun thing. We do Hot Takes, Hot Take Tuesday. And he got brought up about being in the Hall of Fame. And it's like, it's still a shocker. It's like, wait a minute. This guy literally, in modern day baseball, was the best center fielder.
Absolutely.
I can't go back and talk about Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle and those guys. It was so long ago. But in modern day history, he was the best center fielder. And he hit over 400 home runs. And they won. And in the playoffs, it's like, how's he not in the Hall of Fame?
It's a great question. I don't know. It's been surprising to see how long this has taken. I do think he'll eventually get there. For some reason, he doesn't get in via vote. I think the Veterans Committee or some committee will take care of him. But you're right. I mean, that's one of the criteria we look at, right? Are you where do you rank among your generation and your position? And defensively, he was one of the best. When I played in Atlanta, he was such a good center fielder that the pitching plan also revolved around the great work that he did. Leo Mazzoni, a great pitching coach all those years. I only spent a half a season with the Braves, but when I got there, he let me know right away, this is what we do, is that we work hitters away and we let Andrew go catch the ball. Right, with the idea of like, go ahead and let him put it in play because he's going to cover all that ground out there. Don't get beat in and let a guy pull a ball over the fence against you. Work away. If he hits it hard, Andrew, go get it.
Yeah, he was incredible.
Yeah.
There was nobody with 10 gold gloves. I mean, nobody was better. Big news today for baseball as a former pitcher. How do you like the challenge system put into the All-Star game to really showcase it to the masses? Because unless you've been following minor league baseball or you went to spring training games this year, you've never seen it.
That's right. So we got to see it in spring training. Yep. The Braves didn't have that many games. I think they only had like 8, fewest or second fewest in baseball. I like it. Asked me this question 8 years ago, and I would have been against it in a big way. I think what we saw in spring training was really smooth. It's really important. You and I watch a ton of baseball. We see bad calls. It happens. It's part of it. I'm not getting on umpires, but it would be nice to get those right. It's really efficient. It's worked pretty quickly. I think fans actually enjoy it. It's engaging when you see it, just like when you're watching tennis on the big screen. So I like the idea they're going to put it into the All-Star game. I would like to see more challenges. 2 for me is too few. I just want to get it right.
Yeah.
What's going to be fun to watch is, we get closer. I think we're going to have it next year. But even watching it in the All-Star game, who's going to be allowed to actually use it? When do you use it? If you only have those 2 challenges, you get it right, you're fine. You don't lose a challenge. But the idea of losing it and not having challenges late in the game, I think is going to be an interesting kind of tactic that teams are going to have to worry about to some degree. But the system is good. It's important. And I get it. Umpires, again, are going to make mistakes. But it's the really big leverage spots that get you, right? A guy misses a 2-0 pitch that's 4 inches off the plate and calls it a strike. Gosh darn it, man. Like the difference between 3-0 right there and 2-1 or those 1-1 counts that are so important. I'd like to see us have some technology, and I think we do, to back it up and get it right.
Well, a place you know real well, we were in Surprise, and I was calling the game with Johnny Dosco. It was like the second or third spring training game.
Yeah.
It was my first time seeing it. I couldn't wait, right?
Yeah.
Second inning, boop. I'm like, here we go. And it was like 6 seconds. It's up. Here comes the ball, strike. Fans went nuts, and I knew it was a winner. But I think about it for you guys. Sometimes, when the prisoners take over the prison, I mean, how many times during these games we watch a guy slide in or I'm safe, challenge, and then you look at the replay and go, don't challenge that. He's not even close. So now I'm allowing you, not the manager, I'm allowing CJ to keep the big lefty on the mound's a hothead. Now you want to challenge everything. That's no bueno.
So it should be, for me, only the catchers. Right? When you're out on the field, I'm not going to trust my pitchers. Now, there's going to be a couple of guys that I
can't trust you.
No, you cannot. There's going to be a couple of veterans that for sure are going to want control of that, right? I mean, think of guys that have been around that maybe you say, okay, it's all right. But Jeffrey Springs yesterday I thought was a good example. Yesterday, plate was a little bit wide. For a left-handed pitcher against the righty hitters, he was opening up a couple of inches. He threw a pitch that was probably 8-10 inches off, and I think it was ball forward. He was looking in like he was upset that it didn't get called. I'm like, he knows it's not a strike, but he's trying to sell the umpire on it a little bit. And in that emotional moment, would he have asked for a challenge? Maybe, right? And that's the problem, exactly what you're talking about. So trust the catchers to do it. There's less emotion involved for them when it comes to those balls and strikes. And then you got to pick your guys, which hitters you're going to allow to do that. I could see a scenario where you have a manager that might tell a hitter, listen, we're up by 5 right now, no challenges, no matter what.
Yeah,
or we're down by 1, it's the 6th inning, and you're an 8-hole hitter. Don't waste one of our challenges right now. Right, I think that's going to have to be part of the conversation. And it's probably going to make a couple of guys mad.
Yeah, because, what other sport in the NFL, the head coach has it. He's got the red flag. Well, every single receiver thinks that it's pass interference.
Right.
Do we – that's what it's going to be really interesting to see, especially if you do it and it affects your team because later on you've lost your challenges because you made a bunch of bonehead decisions. Just the whole thing – to me, brings more interest to our game.
It does, and I think gets everything right. Make sure we understand that replay's been really good for that. It's engaging the way that it happens. Again, I just think, why not 5 challenges? It doesn't take a lot of time. Baseball has done such an excellent job with this pitch clock. The games are moving along really nicely. This challenge system, and more people are going to see it now with the All-Star game, is very effective.
You guys have one of the best shows, Loud Out, Sirius XM. It's fantastic, channel 89. For me, 88, 89, NFL and baseball. I really don't need a PGA Tour on the weekends on Channel 92. Nice. NASCAR somewhere in there if you want like that. But really.
Can you listen to NASCAR? Seems like a sport you got to watch, right?
I love the crazy guy on because every once in a while I'll turn it over. They got some crazy. He's mad about everything.
Nice.
He's just goes ballistic about the NASCAR's guy. And he's got that Southern. He's really fast. He's entertaining. What's his name? Godfather. He's the Godfather. He's the guy. He's absolutely. It's the entertainment business, right? He is fantastic. But you and Spilly do such a great job to where you have 2 former players essentially doing a talk show. You've probably for many years, if you're ever going to do talk, you'd be like a host and then with a player. Having 2 guys, one guy position player, one guy a pitcher. Talk about the dynamic in your show, because it's no doubt one of the best we got.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you saying that. It's very kind of you. Jordan Greenberg, our executive producer at MLB Network Radio, kind of put us together maybe 5 years ago. I didn't know Spilly at all. And we were doing a Saturday-only show, and it was pretty instant chemistry because we're also opposite, not just in the fact that we play different positions. But he's good for me because sometimes I'll be a little bit too tight, a little bit too buttoned up, and he's kind of like, he'll be over there. You. It's perfect for me because it kind of brings me out of my shell a little bit. Sometimes I'm trying to corral him, right? A little bit of both of our personalities, and nobody takes it too seriously, right? We know, like, I went to correct him on something today, realized I messed it up, right? It's okay, and I got to apologize. And then there's times where, you got that wrong. I go, let's get it right. That's the most important thing. But we have a lot of fun. The dynamic works really well. We have other guys that are kind of in the Loud Outs family as well, with Chris Jimenez and Kevin Franson and other former players, Jensen Lewis. So it's fun to do. It's you see every once in a while where there might be a Legends broadcast, or I saw that the Twins yesterday did 3 players and Pablo Lopez was on the broadcast, right? Give the pros a day off. It provides a different perspective for sure, but it's got to be the right group. And Spilly is definitely the right partner for me, and it's a lot of fun. And, we bounce stuff off each other, too. I think in our business, just in general, don't ever pretend you know everything, because you don't. No matter how much experience you had, no matter how much of a great player you were, stay curious, stay humble. Those are kind of mantras for us on that show.
Well, one of the great things about you getting into this part of the business is the fact that you did play everywhere. You played on multiple continents.
Pretty
you
much,
played for a lot of teams. There is a tremendous amount of value. Hey, listen. If you can play with one team your entire career, great.
Yep.
But there is a lot of value. Look at all the play. You played in Asia. You played for so many different teams here. You had a lot of value because you could talk about a lot of different things in our game.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And when you're going through it, you're not like, man, can I just sit still and be in one place for a while? It'd be kind of nice for my wife, be nice for my kids, right? But we're just always moving around. But, when it's all said and done, I ended up having 40 different managers all around the world, between Korea, Japan, Dominican, here in the States, and you hear the game different ways, right? And that was, again, even though at times I'm like, I don't want to move around again, but you start to realize the value that in this lifestyle now, in this line of work, all the different teammates, probably pushing somewhere around 1,000 different teammates over the years, those 40 different managers, and the way that they manage the game and approach things, and the conversations with all those pitching coaches along the way gave me a pretty wide scope of learning about this game and professionally and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, though, still curious to ask guys. The game's changed so much too since then. So it's it was a wild ride for sure. But and also it's kind of nice. There's still a couple of former teammates hanging around. At some point that's going to go away. But I played with Jesse Chavez, which pretty much everybody has for the most part. You haven't played with Jesse, you probably hadn't played professional baseball. So I'm counting on him to stick around for a little while. Zach Wheeler was a teammate. Wilmer Flores at the very end of my career. So those guys, I need them to keep going for a while, because at some point you're not going to have any former teammates that are still playing. But it's kind of nice to have a couple.
I'll tell you one that got me. You guys were doing an interview, and I know we got to go here, but you were doing an interview with Gabe Kapler. And you were like, I played with Gabe Kapler. I'm trying to think, when the hell did he play with Gabe Kapler?
1999, Detroit.
Detroit, yeah. I was like, my God.
And we worked together at Fox for a little while. When I first got started, he was already there at FS1.
Well, I'll say that I'll never forget you told us this back in Oakland. You said, we all know our team better than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I remember when you said that, I went, that's so true. Because when you listen to other people talk about your team, it drives you nuts because they're faking it.
And your fans don't like it either.
No.
They don't like those national broadcasts. I'll usually get a tweet or two like, these guys, you're listening, you're like, they don't know what they're talking about, or they're missing points. But it's just the value that we have of being able to see the same guys every day, and you know them inside and out.
Well, from Loud Outs to the Atlanta Braves, you're as good as it gets in our business. We miss having you on all the time, but thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it. Have a good call, and we will be in touch.
Yeah, I'll see you in 27.
All right, we got more coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Here's the pitch, and it's a hit. Folsom Lake Ford has stepped up again, winning the Triple Crown Award, Ford Motor Company's highest honor, now 7 years in a row. Folsom Lake Ford is a top sales leader in the U.S., along with being top in customer satisfaction, in sales, service, and finance. Now that's a home run. Don't miss the huge savings on your favorite models at your truck headquarters. Folsom Lake Ford, in the Folsom Auto Mall.
A's All-Star Jacob Wilson sat down with Towny on A's Cast Live to reflect on his development within the organization and growing alongside the team's young core.
We talk about it all the time, like just guys who got drafted into this organization. This is kind of the only team that they know. We all get to be here playing for the same team that drafted us in the big leagues, and we're all young, so we all get to hang out. We either played against each other, in college or even growing up throughout high school. And it's pretty special to see the young talent that came up to the big leagues, with us and, succeeded. It's pretty awesome to just, see that, the future of this, club's in good hands with all the young guys that we have here. And we're excited to be a part of it. And we're excited to grow as a, team together and just go out there every day, enjoy it, and play for each other. And, hopefully play this game, with each other for a long time.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
Bob Melvin joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live from West Sacramento to discuss the lasting relationships he maintains with his former players.
Almost every one of them that I've managed before they come to the plate or when they take the mound, there's always that quick look and a little bit of a salute and a little bit of a remembrance of what we did together here in Oakland. And it was such a special team and special place that to a man, it happens really every time. Even, like Tyler Soderstrom, I was there for a short period of time with him and I felt like I got to know him that spring and first round pick and so forth, and always gives me a little, one of these when he comes to the plate. It's really humbling to know that there are that many people that I'd been around in this organization still remember me.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Become an A's insider today. Visit athletics.com/newsletter and sign up to receive the latest team highlights, up-to-date news, features, and more, all delivered free to your inbox. That's athletics.com/newsletter.
Streaming from West Sacramento, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, it's time now for the GM report with David Forst, the general manager of the Athletics. Tomorrow, Lawrence Butler's birthday. We're giving out the bobblehead. What do you think of the Lawrence Butler bobblehead with the chain?
I like it. This is the first time I've seen it up close. I see the ads up on the board with Johnny D admiring it, but see it up close. I like the chain. I like the fours. It captures Law.
He says it's the first one with a chain, and he's a one of one.
Does it go back-to-back with Denzel to do that little spin move that they've been working on after homers?
We can work on that. That'll be maybe next year. If you were to have a David Forst bobblehead, what would you have?
I don't know. Could it have hair? Could we arrange?
We can go back.
All right, we'll go retro. So it has hair.
Retro. With the 11th pick in the 2025 MLB draft, the Athletics select
somebody who will be right next to Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson a year from now.
Oh, I like that. Because
aspirational, I guess.
That's how you get people interested in the draft. Because that's obviously the difference between the NFL and the NBA draft. Those guys play that very next year.
We're creeping right up on them.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's totally changed.
Do you like
when
that?
I first started. I love what those two guys are doing in our lineup right now. So, yeah. I think guys are coming out of the draft way more ready to play in the big leagues than they ever were, and if they push themselves here, you might as well take advantage of it.
It's kind of hard to really project. There's 10 guys going to be going before you, so it's kind of like who's going to fall to you.
Yeah, we're not going to know until about 3:35 or so on Sunday when the first 8 picks have gone, and then we'll figure out who's left.
So on your board, take us through how you do it. So do you have a top 25 guys or top 10? How do you go through it?
So we set up 2 boards, total of 120 guys of just the first 120 in order. And then from there we go to positions. So we go like our right-handed pitcher's board, left-handed pitcher, but we line up the first 120 guys in order of just how we like them, regardless of position, college versus high school, junior versus senior, whatever the case.
I'm not going to go Mel Kiper Jr. on you here, but are you drafting for need? What are your needs?
Well, that's the thing. For a long time, baseball teams would have said, no way we're drafting for need. These guys won't be here for 3, 4, 5 years, and you don't know what your needs are.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case anymore. We're looking for the best player or best pitcher, whatever it may be. It's been a little while since we've taken a pitcher in the first round. But we're still looking for the best guy. And if he gets here in a year, we'll figure it out.
Does it matter high school or college?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I think if you look at our last 5 or 6 years, Saudi and Muncie high school, and then you got Jacob, Kurtz, Susac college. Like we've done a good job of kind of mixing up our portfolio, so to speak.
No doubt. I mean, Lawrence Butler out of high school, so you've had that success. It's great to see. I was writing it down. Muncie 3 home runs in the last 6 games, hitting 348. Shortstop drafted, moved around, came up, made the big league team because of injuries. He even admitted the game was a little fast. He looked a little uncomfortable at second base, goes back down, mentally kind of figures it out. I can play, comes back. He's looked fantastic as a third baseman.
Yeah, he's figuring out the game on that side of the diamond. He's figuring out the game offensively. He's going to play short tonight just because Jacob needs at least the day. So it's nice to have the guys who can do all those things.
How much did you hold your breath after him getting hit?
God, it's the worst. Second pitch of the game too. You're excited. New series. Lawrence starts it off with a bang, and then you spend the rest of the night just worrying about Jacob. So
it makes you. It's like watching one of your kids get hit. It makes you ill. Like the whole time we're sitting there waiting, going, "What's the news? What's the news? What's the news?
Yeah.
What's the X-rays?"
I mean, so we have the benefit of having that news a little sooner than you guys do, and we have the great X-ray machine in the clubhouse here. Brian sends me a text in the 3rd inning. Hey, initial X-ray is negative, so you take a deep breath a little bit, and then I go in and see Jacob, and he's relieved and feeling okay. So it's a little bit better, but yeah, you still got to get through it.
What did it mean to you as someone who's drafted him, developed him, that he's the first shortstop in the history of baseball to be voted into the All-Star game to start at short?
Yeah, I mean, some of those bullet points on the press release with the history, I didn't really recognize it until we sort of put it on paper. And for the A's, since in the last 50 years, and God, it's been long enough since we've even had 2 All-Stars go into the game. Like it's really great. It's great for the organization, top to bottom. You and I have talked a lot about the wins for player development, the wins for scouting, all that stuff. I mean, shoot, on top of Jacob, look at how many guys in this lineup on this roster are drafted by the A's, developed by the A's, and end up here. And particularly now that we have our scouts in town this weekend or all week for the draft, it's a really nice time for the organization.
Yeah, you look all around with Denzel in center and what we see with Sodi and Butler and Kurtz and now Geloff back, who was drafted in the 2nd round out of Virginia. Just the entire infield, pretty historic.
Infield, I mean, other than outfield last 2 nights.
Yeah, other than Langoliers and Rooker, is that something that you'll send out, I don't know, an email, a text, or something to everybody, kind of like a little kumbaya to everybody that, hey, what we're doing is working?
Yeah, absolutely. I did. I noticed it Friday night. I texted Eric to let him know, like, hey, and then actually Martin Gallegos had a stat the next morning that it was only the 220th time basically in the last 55 years that someone had a full infield and outfield. And I did a little quick math. It's like 0.08% of all major league games since 1969. So yeah, you absolutely shoot out a text to the whole scouting staff and say, hey, this is why you guys put in the work, because it happens here on the field, and it builds the foundation of what we're trying to do.
Projections are so tough, and the general manager of the Athletics, David Forst, with us here on A's Cast. How can you even know Nick Kurtz is going to be this good that fast, right? I mean, it's like, he's special. He's going to be good. We talked about it. He could be the best overall guy in the draft. Got him with the 4th pick, and now just watching him play, he didn't even look like a rookie anymore.
He doesn't. No, he's figured it out pretty quickly. I mean, 14 homers will do that for you. But look, I'm not going to sit here and say we knew this. Like, he was the guy we wanted. We felt like he was ready, close to ready to hit big league pitching, but everybody needs a little adjustment, right? I mean, you just talked about Max needing to be here, go back down, come up. He's a 1st-round pick. Like, everybody needs to figure out the speed of the game. Like, and Nick, you saw in Nick's first 2 weeks, maybe he was getting beat by fastballs. Guys were attacking him, and we talked about him changing his approach to be more aggressive early in the count, but he sure figured it out quickly.
And of course, Lawrence, it's just it's an aura about him, right? There's just, I was talking about it in the post game last night, that Lawrence Butler has this rare, when he walks into a room, everybody knows he's there, right? He's got that big smile. He's got that personality. Yes, when he's hitting 2 home runs a game, that's great too. But there's just something special about how he's come through the entire system. Every coach, whether you're on the hitting or pitching side, you've traveled with him, you've played with him. just what he means to this organization overall. He's like this big beam of light when he shows up.
Absolutely. And we talked about it a lot in the spring when we got the contract done. And it was a big part of why that extension was important to us, both from a baseball and from an organizational standpoint, because of what he stands for, the progress he's made, but ultimately what he does on the field. And you saw it last night, the inside the park homer, the homer to dead center, the sliding catch in right field. Like, there's so much talent in this guy, and we believe he's still getting better, still growing, and we're going to see the best of him.
Now, speaking of all these guys who have draft picks, I'm just thinking about the draft. Would you like to be able to move up in the draft or move down in the draft the way they do in the NFL?
Yeah, we talk about it every year, how much fun it would be to trade picks. And we're not there yet from a CBA standpoint. The commissioner's office and the players union are going to have to get together on that at some point. And we have those CBT picks, which we can trade. It's part of the reason we have Jeffrey Springs and Jacob Lopez in our rotation right now, is because we included that CBT pick in the trade with the Rays in the offseason. But I think there's 12 of them every year that can get traded. For us, it's not enough. It'd be a lot of fun to spend this week talking about the value of picks, lining up the board and thinking, hey, if we could move up or we can move down, whatever the case.
Yeah, because let's just say, Matt Olson's in town, right? Sean Murphy's in town. You trade them. Like years ago, if you would have said, okay.
Yeah, throw in your unprotected first-round pick.
Right? That's what they do in the other sports.
They do. Yeah, I sat in the 49ers draft room a long time ago when it was one of those years. There's a lot of years where they keep trading down and down and down.
Yeah, get more picks.
Right, and you learn the value of more picks and what value they assign to each pick, and it was so much fun to sort of be part of that process. Yeah, we have what we have.
There's only so much bandwidth. If you don't know, this man actually cares about his family, so we get to see your kids.
Thank you for reiterating that.
We know you're a good husband and a good father. You just don't sit there like every minute is about baseball. But, there's only so much bandwidth. You got the draft. People are calling you about the trading deadline. It's like, you got too much going on right now.
Except that this is a fun time. Like we used to have it split up where the draft was in June, the deadline was in July. You could spice it out, but you know what? I was on 2 or 3 calls this morning, like stepping out of the draft room for deadline talk, and then we're in there all day putting names up on the board. This is why you do the job. This is a really fun time for everybody.
So if we put cameras, because we play all the money ball with the scouts, if we put cameras in there now, are we getting like the same kind of stuff?
It's a little upgraded. We're in the arena over here. The Kings set us up in a beautiful lounge over there, one of their club spaces. It's got a nice bar there. We got TV screens all over. We've upgraded a little bit since Moneyball.
His girlfriend's a 6. What does that mean? He's got no confidence. None of that's going on anymore?
We don't do a lot of that conversation anymore.
What do you expect at the trading deadline? I'm going to Hawaii, so I'm going to be away for a while.
For
yeah.
Must be nice. Saxy's going to sit in here and take over for you.
He's going to be in the heat, not me. So what are we expecting?
I expect to be busy, just like any other year. There's a lot of time left to see how we play between now and then. Obviously, we're not where we wanted to be after the first 45 games or so of the season, but there's time. We're playing better now. It's weird. Outside of those 21 freakish games, we're right around 500, maybe a game or two over. I wish I could explain what happened during that stretch, but I'm glad we put it behind us. But we're playing well. Every series we go in, we got a chance to win the series, and we'll see what the conversations look like between now and the end of the month.
It's like, what the hell do I know? But when I'm sitting here, you developed a core.
Yeah,
you're not going to mess with the core, so it's kind of like it's kind of. Are you buyers? Are you sellers?
Yeah,
you're in a weird spot.
You got to be careful, but you also don't want to be afraid to do things because you want to get better. And sometimes getting better means you do some things that are uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't think we're going to do anything crazy. You're not going to dig into a lot of this position player core that we've spent so long building.
Because that's probably what people they know what's going on.
I think people recognize, and people talk about at the deadline, the control you have. Guys who are 1+, 2+ players, you're going to have them for a long time. That's exactly what we've got. It's exactly what particularly we need to hold on to as we build towards 2028.
And we can end on this. There's a lot of noise, obviously there has been, about Luis Severino, but you told me earlier that This is a guy you want. There's a reason why you signed him to that contract.
Yeah, I've talked to Luis a lot over the last couple of weeks, and obviously his public comments are what they are. And he said it when we were in New York. He's not going to lie. Like, they keep asking him the same question over and over again. He's going to keep answering it, but he hasn't said anything new. And he said after his last start here, he's got to be better. He knows that, and I have no doubt he's working towards that.
Well, we've taken you away long enough from your from your war. Is it so? There's like food and this is a full
Come on
spread.
over to the Assembly Lounge over in the arena. Come check it out.
See, I have Moneyball in my mind.
This is
Old
beautiful.
Scouts.
I told you the Kings did it up nice.
Billy Bean still dipping Copenhagen.
Catered breakfast, catered lunch every day.
Wow,
I'm wearing the air conditioning is pumping in there. I'm wearing long sleeves.
You guys are just pampered
This is the
now
big leagues,
compared to
Towny.
That's the big league. Hey, thank you very much. We
Sure.
appreciate you stopping by. Good luck with the draft, and can't wait to see who you pick.
We'll see you after the break.
It is the general manager, David Forst, right here on A's Cast Live. And now you've been waiting for it. Lawrence Butler, the birthday boy, is bobblehead tomorrow. Joined us earlier today right here on set. Well, now joining us here on A's Cast Live, it's the Law Dog, Lawrence Butler. It's going to be your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You
Thank
also have the bobblehead tomorrow. How fired up are you?
I'm ecstatic. We got mini Law Dog right here throwing up the Forst. B-Day tomorrow. Family will be here, so it's going to be a good day tomorrow.
Did you have anything to do with the design of your own bobblehead?
You want to know the one thing I added?
So you did.
I added the chain. I told them to put
So
the chain.
it has a real chain on it.
Yeah.
With the 4. You got the chain?
Yep. I told them to put the chain on there. So that was my addition. Everything else they did, and I think they did a really good job.
Do we know of any other bobblehead that actually has a chain?
I'm the only one. I'm one of one.
So
That's
you're a
one-of-one.
trendsetter.
Yeah. Everybody finna start putting chains on bobbleheads now. And y'all heard it here first. This one? I'm first one to start the chain on the bobblehead. So yeah.
One of one.
One of one.
The great Lawrence Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got to tell you, my friend, there's something about July and you, because last year, July, you started heating up and your second half was incredible, and you're doing the same now. What is it about the heat? What is it about summer that makes the Law Dog come out and play?
I mean, I'm a Georgia boy, so, we love the heat. Summertime when I was growing up was, prime travel ball weather, going out to East Cobb, Lake Point, all those parks, and just playing in the heat, just middle of the day, 3 o'clock game, sun at its peak, and we out there just balling. So that's kind of what it brings me back to when July comes around. It's also my birthday month, so I just feel like July is just the perfect month all around.
I like how you bring it up, because I'm the same way. I like heat. I back in the day, I know I'm old, but back when I played, but even like now with golf,
yeah,
I want to have a little sweat. I like it when it's hot.
Yeah,
you're looser. You're
easier,
ready to rock.
That's what I was going to say. It's easier to just get ready. Like, when it's cold, you got to do more because it's cold. Your body tight. But when it's hot, you loosen up, just stay hydrated, and you'll be good.
All right, right now, talking about the core, you're such a big part of the core, the young crew. And when you look at Jacob Wilson and yourself and Kurtz and Muncy and Gelof's back, and you talk about Denzel Clark and Soderstrom and everybody, what are you seeing with these young guys and how special this group could be?
I'm seeing a lot of playoff appearances and a lot of championships and just a lot of winning. Because, you gotta think about it. Denzel's 25. I'm 24. I'll turn 25 tomorrow. Muncy's 22. Jacob's 23. Sody's 23. Kurtz is 22.
Kurtz is 22.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're young. We're a really young team, and all of us are playing every day, and we're putting up great at bats and we're playing good baseball. So, for us to be doing this at this age, the ceiling is no longer there. We have a phenomenal, talented young core, and we got a lot of good veterans in there that'll kind of teach us up, coach us up on things that, we might be a little inexperienced at. So I feel like we're on the right track, and I feel like it's a lot of wins to come for this ball club.
Nick Kurtz was taking college classes last year.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, he was wondering how he was going to get alcohol. And he's coming up here just walking off hater like it's nothing, just being him. He's nasty. He's a special player.
Outfield-wise defense, just how much has everything changed with Denzel Clark being in center?
The ball goes up in center field, middle of the field, and you're just like, it's out. He adds a layer of confidence and and just, relaxation when he's out there. You feel like anything's out there, he's going to catch it, and if they don't catch it, it's a legit hit. So, I mean, it kind of helps me and Sodi out, too.
That's what I was wondering. How much does that change the corner guys?
It helps me and Sodi out, too, because we know, like, say if he shifted into right center gap, he's got it. I mean, I can just kind of cheat towards the line. Anything down the line, it's all mine, and I know he's got me in right center. So, I mean, it kind of just helps us out, and he's really good at reading swings and just, knowing hitters. And even though he hasn't been up here that long, but he's been doing a really good job on the defensive end.
Have you ever seen anything like him athletically?
No, never. I mean,
you work out with a lot of great athletes down in Atlanta.
I mean, Chandler Simpson, Victor Scott, Mike Harris. I mean, Denzel's otherworldly. I mean, he's climbing up 20-foot walls in AA, catching the ball. It's insane. He's a different athlete. I'm glad he's on my team, so he won't take any homers away from me. But yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
How did it feel leading off the game with an inside the park home run? I thought it was gone, and I didn't know why you were still running, but just the way the sun worked, and then all of a sudden, when you slid across home plate, that big smile that you had.
Yeah, that was electric. I'm gonna explain it from my end. I hit it, and I didn't think I got it, so I'm like, I'm running. And I look at right field, and he doesn't know where the ball is. So I look at center field, and he hasn't even moved. So I'm like, all right, maybe I just hit a homer. I'm jogging, and then I see it ricochet, and I'm like, oh, I got a chance to go inside the park homer. So I just cut it on.
You were sniffing it.
Yeah, I cut it on, and I saw Emar, and I'm like, if he throw up the stop sign, I'm running through him. So he was waving me. So we went in there and slid. That was especially to do it against the Braves. First game play against the Braves. That was pretty cool.
Is that your first time playing the Braves?
First time.
The hometown team.
Hometown team, baby.
Did you watch a ton of Braves baseball growing up?
I watched oh my God. I watched so much Braves baseball. Adam Jones. I mean, not Adam. Yeah, not Adam Jones. Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman, Brian McCann, Smoltz, all those guys. I'm a huge Jason Hare. I remember his debut. He hit the homer first at bat. I mean, I love the Braves. Truist and Turner Field. I used to go to those all the time.
So after the 2 home runs yesterday, how was your phone blowing up after the game from everybody from the ATL?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even really look at my phone no more after a game like that. It's overloaded with just text messages, DMs, everybody saying why you do that to us, and just all that stuff. I mean, it was crazy yesterday.
The bonds that you're creating with these guys. Let's talk about how special it is, because so many of you grew up together in the A's organization. You've now signed to be here long term. I've talked to Jacob about it. I know he's going to want to sign here long term. Just talk about the bonds you guys are creating as young men in this game.
I mean, we're almost like brothers at this point. I mean, we hang out with each other all day, every day in the clubhouse. We eat together. We play cards together. I mean, you'll see we'll hang out with each other's like wives, obviously with one another there, but it's like just a big family-oriented clubhouse. I mean, we go out to eat together. We just kind of do everything together, play the game. I mean, and it's just huge for our chemistry on the field. We just kind of know each other, know what each other likes to do, know what each other doesn't like, and we just talk to each other and just get to know each other, and just it'll just make us better all together on the field.
And that's how you build it. That's how you build that core, and that's how you build that chemistry, and that's how, as you said, you win championships. How do you, though, deal with the disappointment so far of the season, because you expected more than this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we still got a pretty good ball club. I mean, it obviously didn't start how we wanted it to, and kind of set us back pretty far. But I mean, I like the attitude everybody still has. We still come out here daily, put in the work, still grinding, still trying to win games. Everybody's not checked out or anything. We still pushing forward to better days. And we know that maybe it might not happen this year, but there's always the next year. There's always a year after that, and one of these years we're gonna start being playoff contenders every year and top of the ALS.
Yeah, you got to believe. There's no question about it. And it's got to start somewhere. So I like it. Like, no matter, even though it is disappointing where it is right now, I mean, it's just a reality.
Yep.
But there's still a lot of baseball to be played and a lot of baseball to be learned by you guys.
Yeah, exactly. We're a young team. Cost is always preaching us that, stay in the game. If you get out, don't go straight to the iPad. Just watch the game. You might learn something. You can always learn something from just watching the game. And he's big on that with us since we're pretty young.
Now, obviously, different parts of the country have produced great rappers, correct? And the ATL has produced a lot of great rappers.
We the best.
All right. So, Cody, your teammates were asked about who their favorite rappers are. Do you think any of them will say you?
I feel like a couple of them will.
All right, let's see. A's players, their favorite rappers.
Best rapper of all time.
Got to be Eminem. That guy's crazy talented on how fast he can go with some words. So he's got some good songs, good rap lyrics.
I have to say Biggie. Biggest one.
It's got to be Lil Wayne.
Biggie. I'm gonna say Lil Wayne, just cause
Wayne's
crazy.
Lil Wayne.
Not Lawrence Butler.
Lawrence is second.
I am the greatest rapper alive, but he's the best. I'm the greatest.
The Law Zone 4 is
my guy Hogan.
I'd say my favorite rap artist at this moment in time. Yeah.
I heard he's pretty solid. I heard it's not bad, but I haven't heard an actual song yet. So once I hear a song, I can actually, speak.
We're gonna have to redo that.
I'm gonna even benefit down. So I'm gonna say he's good.
He's electric.
It's just fun. I love to go in the studio and just chill and enjoy the vibes.
I caught him last year. He was sitting in his car for like 20 minutes, parking lot. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I just recorded a rap. It's not a big deal. I'm like, okay. That's it. And we forget it.
That's crazy. We got to redo that because in Kansas City, we played my song and we swept them. And they were loving it.
Can we get some Lawrence Butler?
They were loving it. It's on the way.
Can we get some for here for A's Cast Live?
It's very soon. It's on the way very soon.
Like, do you have an album? What do you got?
I got a number of songs worth the album, but I ain't got nothing like fully finished, produced and all that to where it's an album. But I got enough.
So
songs.
it's in its infancy.
Yeah. It's in the
but
works.
Do you have stuff that we could play at least to get in and out of break?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff. Yeah, I'll send y'all over some stuff. I got some stuff.
I mean, because you got to have a future outside of baseball. I mean, baseball is your life, but Lawrence Butler's got so much going on.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have my guy clean it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna send it to y'all, and y'all can use it however y'all want to.
We needed to get before we get out of here because story goes like this. I went home, had to take care of some business because we're going on vacation for the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back to Sacramento, not thinking about I was only wearing flip-flops. So I didn't have any shoes for the shows and to walk around the ballpark because I can't walk around here in flip-flops. It wouldn't be professional. So I went down and I got these. And everybody made a big deal.
Yeah.
I thought I was getting white shoes, Nike. All of a sudden, I'm being told I got drip.
You got drip. Them dope boy ones, AF ones, cocaine white ones, whatever you want to call them.
Straight vanilla.
Straight vanilla. That's a nostalgic shoe for me. I mean, in my life I've probably had about 20 pair.
So everybody in the ATL's wearing these?
Everybody got a pair. You always got a pair in your closet just ready to be worn. Whenever you need, oh, I got to fit, can't find those shoes, throwing on my Air Force One.
Because I walked in, I went, white shoes. I could wear them with a suit. I can wear them on television. I can wear them anywhere. I went, I'm going to do all white shoes. I wasn't trying to be drip, but I guess that's when your drip is when
you don't try. He gets it. He's getting it. He's starting to get it. Towny's starting to get it.
Hey, I'm so happy for you. Happy birthday. I know the family and your dad's going to be out here. The bobblehead tomorrow is a big deal. And one of the great things is that as we grow here on A's Cast Live, you're signed here to be long-term. You're growing with us. I know how much this organization means to you in your life. This organization, all the people in this organization mean a great deal to you, and you mean a great deal to them.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. I mean, this is the first and only organization to take a chance on me, and, I'm truly grateful for it. I love everybody in the organization, even you, Towny.
The great Lawrence Butler right here on A's Cast Live.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
This has been a presentation of The Athletics.